Why model boats? Memories of being aboard this ferry boat. This is the MV Yakima. Sorry, I'm not in my captain's suit. I can't be imposing a fake captain. Anyway, this is some of the memories. I'm just out on some traveling, heading to Lopez Island, and I'm aboard the ferry, Washington State. A lot of memories on this boat. I grew up taking this ferry as a child when the MV Yakima was out in the Kingston Edmonds ferry route. So she still sails on a regular route up steadily through Lopez Island in Anacortes, Washington. On deck. It's like the Olympic of the Puget Sound, the MV Yakima. So cool. This is the galley, which is all closed. A lot of similarities. I'm gonna build that ship someday. The MV Yakima. That was a good old ferry boat with lots of memories. As a child with my dad, my grandfather, and uncle going camping out in the Puget Sound, taking the Edmonds Kingston ferry. Back in the, I'd say the early 80s to mid 80s. It was a very happy childhood, and those memories are cherished forever. But that was one of my incentives of visiting that town, is where all my model boat enthusiasm came from, because there was this little hobby shop downtown that I used to go to when I was around old enough to walk around the town at 8 years old. And that hobby shop, as you see today, sits the same way as it does, and they haven't even repainted it. So that beautiful charm of yesteryear never fades away. So anyway, just a little update on model ships and why I like them. The best thing about a model boats, you don't have to worry about tires. You don't have to really worry about exact measurements. You know, you can have a basic scale. And with all the household materials that you can collect, whether you're in a home or an apartment, at least for me, I have a home, there's a lot to pick up from. And I hold on to all these materials and can make some pretty cool model ships, model boats. And that's what inspired me to dig a big hole in my front yard to build a pond. So model boats, I've always been thrilled by them, maybe because my grandfather was in the Merchant Marine and I lived out in the Puget Sound and seen all the boats, but they're just there's a lot of history in these vessels. And, you know, I always loved watching mysteries as a child of sunken ships. So that thrill is just really in me. I built all kinds of models, though. I built model planes, plastic like F-14 Tomcats, F-15 Eagle, and I built many cars. In fact, as you saw in Edmonds, there were a couple cars that I built for the old hobby shop man that used to run it. You know, his name was Mr. Rich, and amazingly, he's still there, I think. And it's just nice to see businesses going like that for the past 30 years, that little town Edmonds. So I just kind of wanted to make a special video of all the memories, and that I went back to that town, and it really felt good. But that little town is really where it all started with my enthusiasm in building model boats. And with today's technology, there's so many cool things a person can do these days with creativity, with the materials. I've got a whole bunch of sardine cans, and I'm excited to show in the next coming video the SS Edmund Fitzgerald, the Great Laker, the Great Lake freight ship of the Great Lakes that we all know about. I'm going to make an actual sinking model that's going to break in two and sink in the bottom of a lake. And you will see the actual footage of it as it sinks. And that is my next exciting project to share with you. And I'm hoping to have that within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And of course, my grandfather's ship is moving along slowly, but I do plan to get that done by next spring. So these boats bring a lot of joy, and it's almost like a chapter in my life where I can kind of achieve a ship and study it, and it kind of gives me that feeling of studying the ship, and building the model kind of gives me the experience of being with that ship. So that's the feeling I get out of every model ship that I build. So basically my channel is just, I'm trying to improve with my quality. And I know over the years, I've always repeatedly liked my model boats and entertaining with them. And that's what I will continue to do because I have a passion for that. So as my little promo, you will see a few ships coming ahead, but after being out in the Puget Sound, I am definitely going to be building one of those Washington State ferries, radio control with little cars. So hoping to do that in the next year or so. And with Britannic, my grandfather's ship. And these model boats are a great passion, and I'm never tired of them. And in life, you got to do something that makes you happy. And model boats and sailing certainly makes me happy. Ahoy there, Idaho model shipbuilder. Have a good day. You see those two model cars? I built those for Mr. Rich, and they still sit there as of today. It's been over 30 years I built those model cars. Idaho model shipbuilder. Memories. Some flashback memories of the old hobby shop in Edmonds that I used to go as a child still sits today. Good to see those memories are timeless.